Some guys we had like national team duties, like Jackson and Sam, and they did well. And then obviously everyone else was here. We had a couple of days off, which was good, and then we just got into some training. Like we didn't have that many numbers, so we're doing like one-on-one and just trying to refine some defensive stuff. And yeah, but it was good. It was good for us.
A lot of positivity amongst the group, obviously on an 8-game losing streak at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, there's positivity. I think we got a healthy roster right now, so there's really no excuses for poor performances, and we feel confident with the group when we have the group together. So there's a good vibe around practice, and we're feeling good.
You've been starting in the starting five a lot recently, obviously with injuries, but talk us through your own performance and.
I mean, I've had a bit of a down year shooting wise, but defensively, I think I've taken a step up from previous years, and I've kind of just bought into that role with my shooting not being as good, but I'm looking to turn that around as well. So yeah, it's been good.
What's been kind of the focus on the defense? Obviously, it's been a big step up, and especially the last month for you.
Just pressure, like just pressuring the ball, being physical, and then I'm getting the assignments from Forde, so it's like, you know, like that's my job to do that. And I'm just trying to do that, and we're trying to win. So just giving maximum effort on defense.
Obviously, basically now having almost the full team back, you're going to get a chance to really gel into that starting five and that unit. It's been good to finally have the guys on court.
Yeah, no, it's been great. It just, I mean, injuries suck, you know, like it's just crap, you know. Can't really do much about it. It just happens with this sport, but yeah, we've had bad luck. But it feels great to have everyone back, you know.
What's been kind of Forde's message this week as you get back on it and try and rebound from that break?
Just again, defense. I think against New Zealand we had a really good defensive game. We just couldn't take the scoreboard over when we needed to. But just to carry over that defensive intensity and have everyone locked in on defense, I think that's the main focus right now.
Other than winning games, what are you most looking forward to about the back end of the season?
What I'm looking forward to.
Any personal goals you mentioned about obviously?
Just to get my shooting percentage up. That'd be like a goal of mine. And then just having everyone click and everyone stay healthy would be the biggest goal for us. And I think we've had all our injuries for the season, knock on wood. And that's it, to stay healthy.
Last time you played the Kings, 26-point loss. How do you overcome that this time, obviously at home?
I mean, I think if we don't start off 12-0, we should be in a lot better situation. But yeah, we started off poorly the last game. We couldn't really come back from it. And yeah, we got everyone back, so we didn't have everyone then.
Talking about that, you've obviously been a big part of what you spoke about, your leadership, yourself, Sam, and Taran. How do you bring that on court? Obviously, you've been the only one for some of the times.
I think like just leading by example. Not everyone has to be like a yeller or a talker. And I think if I'm picking up and playing as hard as I can, it kind of motivates the other guys to do their part when they see me running around. That's kind of how I try to lead. Yep.
Yeah, we're able to obviously rest some bodies. Some guys were high in minutes and nagging injuries and return to play timelines, and so and obviously a couple of guys away with the FIBA commitments. So it was good. It was able to stagger a little bit and get guys a little bit more recentered. You know, we did some roadmaps with some guys just to get them back on the page of what we need for them to do in terms of their job description, which is going to help provide, you know, winning and losing. So it's just a real good to sort of just, you know, reset everything. And then this week's been great, and even now, just today was the highest day we have out of the week. No one will taper off a little bit tomorrow, preparing for Sydney. Great energy amongst the group, competitive. I think guys are just ready to play and remember what it's like to win again.
Speaking of, I guess, the last time you played the Kings, 26-point loss, you come off a break and 8 games of losing streak. I guess, how do you overcome that, and what's the focus? You know, time after time, game after game, it's just the same thing keeps happening.
Yeah, there's a recurrent theme, and the benefit of hopefully having everybody back now as well is, I mean, one of the biggest underliers is the fourth quarter fade-outs. We need the right 5 to close out games for us. And then it's not meant to be a slight on the guys who have been doing a considerably great effort. But, you know, to close out games requires a little bit of experience and reps. You know, Jackson, for example, has closed out more fourth quarters than Taran has. And Jackson played 1 game as a DP last year. So as he's learning what it's like to be in that position, the reality is we need Wardenberg, Tanner, Rob, Taran and P to close out those games. Even the New Zealand game, you know, we're up 3 points. Tanner and Rob foul out. They go on a 12-0 run. The unavailability of those 2 guys hurts us. And so the best ability is availability, and that's going to help with that fourth quarter. The other big concerning is you know, you talk about the Sydney loss, but it's 21 offensive rebounds. We got beaten up on the rebounds by New Zealand in that first quarter, and then the 2 offensive rebounds they got in the late stages of the fourth hurt us. Brisbane had 14 offensive rebounds, I think, in the first half when we played them. You're not going to win too many games, especially if you do a great job defensively and keep giving up second chance points. So, in that 21-point, 26-point loss or whatever it was to Sydney, they had 27 second chance points. You're not going to win too many games doing that. So it's important that guys are available and foul disciplined and playing smart, and then we get the rebound. You
relied really heavily on Wardenberg and Pedro during that game, and Rob only managed 5 points. I guess there's been a focus for him to step up in big contests like that.
Well, the big thing was we played him out of position too. Rob's not a point guard, and we had to play Rob at point for us to manage what weapons Sydney had defensively. Kyle came out and did some great point guard duties, but then it changes what we are as a team defensive side. So Taron back, Rob plays his natural position, we should be okay.
And just speak about Jonah, how great has he been to the team? And
he's naturally frustrated in the shooting at the moment. So, when you reshift your focus into providing other ways to contribute to the team, he's been arguably one of our best on-ball defenders. And, he did a great job. That was what was probably disappointing with New Zealand as well. We did such a great job with Jackson Cartwright that we allowed a lot of their role players to fill the void, with their pick-and-pop threats. And so we dropped the assignment in other areas, knowing that Jonah did a great job with his. So we'll give him the same task with Adams, who's a high-level, NBA-level point guard. We'll make his night disruptive, but also we just don't want to rely on Jonah to do all the heavy lifting. We need the other 4 guys to do their role as well.
Curran sitting out at the end there, is he all right? Is he all good?
Unfortunately, we'll probably report it through tomorrow. I don't think we're holding too many secrets from Sydney, knowing that he's got a brother on that team. Just a sprain from the New Zealand game. A landing space call that wasn't called. The unfortunate thing now is he was out for a month, so we expect him back probably mid-December, but it just adds to that curse of our injury run at the moment.
And Kyle's fine as well. I know he hasn't had any court minutes for the last few games and had that injury coming up.
Yeah, no, Kyle's fine. And again, this is, with Taron back and Jackson evolving into his role as that backup point guard. Kyle's done a great job providing those leadership, those change room conversations and being that level-head experienced guy that we need to provide some insight to the young guys. But the reality is that Taron shares the lion's share of that ball handling point guard duties, and Jackson will back him up.
Talking about leadership, obviously you mentioned Jonah at the start of the year being a key pillar of the leadership 3. I guess how have you found his role and his performance in that leadership on court with Taron being playing?
Yeah, with everything that gets fast-tracked a little bit, right? So my longest-serving members here are Jonah and Wardenberg, for 3 years, and so you sort of get thrust into that leadership role. The big thing with Jonah is, what we want to do defensively is real particular, and there's a bit of reprogramming and retraining with a lot of guys, getting out of bad habits or different defensive schemes. The benefit of having Jonah, who's had my system now for 3 years, is he just gets it. So similar to Wardenberg is I can use those guys as my examples for the new guys coming in. So, when I need to show KG exactly what I need him to do defensively, I show him Wardenberg. When I show DT or Rob defensively what I need them to do, I can show Jonah's examples. Because it is a little bit different. It's a little bit more reliant on athletic capability and moving away from hugging your man defensively. So it requires a little bit of confidence and trust in yourself and your teammates. It takes a while to build. And so having those guys 3 years and my most experienced dudes ticks a lot of boxes on-court leadership as well as off-court. Beautiful. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.